Call it how it is, Hendrix. All right, let's go. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you're all fine. I hope you had a great game week 30. And I hope you're having a great season, a great week. So, FPL is back in full swing, guys. I mean, after a long time, I'm, having to do this midnight stream, or you can call it midweek game week stream. So I absolutely love that, and welcome you all to the stream. Todd 11 Klopp, he says Salah captain. So of course I think this game week Salah is definitely the best captain, but we'll definitely come to that. Actually, just before I actually go and answer your questions and talk about my own team, I'd just like to tell you that in the last game week 30, I took a chance. I went without Haaland, without Foden. I brought in Salah, and I actually captained Son. It wasn't a bad week for me, actually. I got 71 points. Moving up the ranks slowly and gradually, week by week. I remember the times when I was 4 million, and I decided to stay patient and play my own game, and it's just, it's just coming together at the right time. So I'm absolutely delighted with that. And yeah, I mean, 71 points was fine, guys. I mean, Salah could have had a hat trick easily. 12 shots on goal. It's insane, but sometimes it wasn't to be. Pouter's clean sheet was nice. Muniz goal was nice, but now Watkins is injured, and the issue with me is to replace Watkins, and that's where we're at. So let's go, guys, and let's answer your questions then. So I haven't made my transfers, by the way, guys. I'll make my transfer late into the day, or into the night, you can say. I'm just thinking what to do. I've got a couple of plans, as I've asked in my votes as well. So I'm gonna decide, and then I'm gonna make my moves. Justin says, "Hey mate, hope you're doing well." I'm fine, thank you, and hope the same for you. Would you start Garnacho, Zabernay, or Estupinan this week? Actually, all of them actually have a difficult game week. Zabernay obviously has the best one, but he's obviously a defender, and we mostly don't recommend starting defenders. Brighton obviously has a tough game against Brentford. I'd say go for Garnacho, mate. We always try to pick the most attacking players. So if I was you, I'd possibly go with Garnacho. I think he has the potential, because Chelsea obviously conceded 2 goals to a 10-man Burnley. So I think the game between Chelsea and United is going to be a goal-scoring game, and I think it is definitely gonna give some chances to Garnacho as well to kind of to run at their defense, especially if Gusto's not playing. Disasi is gonna have to move to the right. So because Reece James is obviously out for the longer duration, I would personally go with Garnacho. I mean, long story short, I would go with Garnacho. Desmond says, "Hey Wiz, how are you? Do you think Bradley will start this week? I can only afford him. I want to get Haaland in as well." Desmond, I'm fine. Thank you so much. I hope you're fine as well. I think Bradley will start, yes. I think he will. CAV says, I was not considering Isaac. I was. I did actually consider him CAV. But the issue with Darwin, obviously, I think issue with Darwin is that I'm not sure if he's going to start. That's the only thing which is kind of keeping me off him a little bit, because Liverpool have got like 4 games, like so many games in the space of a few days, and it's a very busy schedule. And I think, just like I feel about Saka to get the rest ahead of Luton, I think Darwin might get some minutes off. Isaac, because I'm going to wildcard in game week 35, so I'm like not really, like I don't really care about the Newcastle fixtures too much, because I mean the Everton fixture is fine, but beyond that, I mean Fulham away and Tottenham are difficult fixtures. So I'm not really like, I want the upside. Like I want to chase the upside. If I don't go for Erling Haaland, I mean I want to chase the upside. And I feel that with Darwin to play against Palace and for him to play against Sheffield United, I think there is some upside to be had, from this move. Otherwise, obviously the easiest move I can make is simply to kind of simply just get Haaland and transfer out Maddison and not consider too much. CAV says, think I might go Isaac. Can get to Haaland for free by 33. Gives 2 weeks of potential pain, but can't see another way. Yeah, I mean, that's fine, CAV. Totally fine. I mean, Isaac is not a bad option. I mean, last week gave massive returns. Played well. Took 2 penalties. I mean, although, the penalties are obviously something to be discussed, but obviously this is an FPL stream, so I'm not going to go into the details of the penalties, but I didn't like those decisions too much, to be honest with you. I think but who cares? In the end, FPL points is all that counts. So I think if you want to go with Isaac, definitely can. I mean, let me show you what my what I have on my mind is basically, see, the simplest way to just go with the motions is to take out Watkins and simply replace him with Haaland. Replace him with Haaland, take out Maddison, get anybody, like get Enzo, for example. Yes, so that is the easiest. That is the easiest one. FPL Jug, hey mate, I hope you're doing well. He says, hi Wes, best trippy replacement. Who doubles in double game week 24. I think 8 Nuri, I guess, is a pretty good option, I'd say. I really like 8 Nuri, as the option, because I mean they have a Bournemouth home fixture and an Arsenal fixture, and he's like 4.6. I mean, I'm not sure if you have the 0.1 million to spare, but I really like the 8 Nuri pick for the run in, mate. See if you can get to 8 Nuri. And he'll give you some good fixtures even before 34 as well. So Johan says, hey Wiz, hard question. Best cheap defender for the run-in. Johan, actually, I've scanned all the list of defenders. There are not many, to be honest with you. I'd say, I mean, if you like a Brighton defender, you can go with Van Hecke. I'm just gonna actually narrow the list down and simply go for the cheapos, like 4.4, I'd say. I mean, Jared Branthwaite is one, but actually has a decent double in 34. I mean, he has Nottingham Forest and has Liverpool, obviously not decent, but Nottingham Forest at home, one fixture, and along with that, I mean, Liverpool is alright, 4.2. If you want to go below that, I'd say Van Hecke, but he doesn't obviously have a double, and in 34 he actually plays against 34, but he has a few decent fixtures along the line. He's got Bournemouth. I mean, I don't really like Van Hecke because of the fixtures. Gusto obviously was nice, but he's injured and he's above that now. And then there's this Crystal Palace defender. Obviously, I'm gonna now forget his name, but which one was the cheap one? I think, yeah, Richards. 3.9 is Richards, and I think they've got some decent fixtures as well along the way. You know, like for example, they've got West Ham at home, Newcastle at home, Aston Villa at home. They've got Bournemouth to throw in the mix, Wolves. So I mean, you know, if you're going for a cheap defender, Jovan, I mean, you have to kind of. It's like a trade-off. It's not a, you know, it's not a like a great option anywhere. I'd say Branthwaite is nice. I like Branthwaite. You know, if you can stretch your budget, actually you can get Kivior at 4.4 million, and I really like that as well. So Giovanni, I hope I answered your question. If you have any more follow-up, let me know, bro. CAV says, I don't have the funds for that, otherwise I'd take the -4 like you. League rival has Isaac, so could go Darwin and Ho. I mean, if that is the consideration, you can definitely, you know, I mean, if you don't have the funds to go with Isaac, I mean, I totally understand you going, I mean, the funds to go with Haaland, I totally understand you going with Isaac. The reason I'm going with, I prefer Darwin over Isaac is because Darwin gets Sheffield United at home and Crystal Palace at home, along with the Manchester United away fixture thrown in there, which I think is very competitive, and I think there can be goals in that fixture as well. On the other hand, Isaac plays against Everton at home, you know, and he plays Fulham away and Tottenham at home. So I like Darwin's fixtures better than Isaac's. You know, it's a different story if you don't have a wildcard 35 or you know, you don't have a free hit for 34, but otherwise I think Darwin is the one. The only caveat I can offer you is that I am not sure how long Darwin plays against Sheffield United. That's the only caveat I can offer for not getting Darwin. You know, so let's see. Azmir says start Gusto or Delo. Gusto is not. I'm not sure if Gusto is gonna play. Garnacho or Palmer. My friend, I mean, Cole Palmer is no brainer, bro. Garnacho is, you know, you can't compare Garnacho to Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer is different league. He's a steal at 5.9 million, to be honest with you, the way he's returning this season. So definitely start Cole Palmer. You know, and between I mean, if I was you, I would start Gusto, because if he's not fit, then he will not come on anyway, and you'll get Delo from the bench or Garnacho from the bench, whoever, you know. So yeah. Abhijit says thoughts on Havertz for Madison. I think that's fine. I mean, it depends on what your chip strategy is. But if you see, I mean, this fixture against Luton and this fixture against Aston Villa, really like it, my friend. You know, I think Havertz playing up top, he can exploit spaces. He can do well. You know, and I think Havertz is a great differential as well. If somebody wants to go for a differential, I think Havertz is the differential to go for. Michael says, this is how I currently line up ahead of Game Week 31. I have one free transfer and 0.7 in the bank. I'm not liking double Spurs defense. Or is it fine? Would have started Ake for one of the Spurs lads, but he's out. I don't really like Spurs defense, let alone the double, Michael. I think Spurs defense is a shambles. I think they are going to concede goals. Pedro Porro, someone like Pedro Porro, I don't have him for the clean sheets. I just have him for the attacking threat. This season, it's hard to find good defenders. Let's just say it how it is, right? This season, there are no good defenders to kind of get into your team. So just make do with what you can. Just get whoever you can. You know. So I think Arsenal defenders, somebody like Jacob Kivior, can offer a really, really good option at 4.4 million to double up on the Arsenal defense and not break the bank. Obviously, Ben White is very costly, so is Saliba. But if you want to double up with Gabriel, I think Kivior is the one, you know. But obviously, with Ake out for the longer duration, I think you should transfer him out and get some other defender to replace him, my friend. TAV says, yeah, you're right. United looked awful. No Gordon helping Isaac either tonight as he's suspended. Yep, that is true. And which brings me to the point that in place of Enzo, I can get Murphy as well. But I don't want to really, because you know, I know this is a decent fixture, but I don't like these two fixtures. So, I have the option to get Murphy as well. And also, guys, there's another option I can get. This is the guy nobody cares about, but he scored 18 points in game week 30. I'm just kidding, by the way. All right, move on. Hey Faz, I hope you're doing well, bro. Nihal says, which move do you prefer? Salah and 8 Nuri for Son and Porro, or Salah and Diaz for Son and Foden, both for a -4? I think Salah and 8 Nuri for Son and Porro makes more sense to me. It all depends on your chip strategy. If you're going to wildcard in game week 35 or you already wildcarded, Nihal, I'm not so sure. But I think Foden's got this Luton at home fixture coming up. And even Aston Villa at home, if he plays, I think that's a great fixture for him. I think you have the upside with Foden. So if I was you, I'd think about Salah and 8 Nuri. Especially if you've used your free hit, then 8 Nuri can help you in defense as well in game week 34. Wildcard 35 and bench boost in 37, says Nihal. Right. So if you're going to wildcard in 35, then you can definitely go with Salah and Diaz. What about your free hit, Nihal? Are you dead ending your team or are you free hitting in 34? That also affects this decision. Let me know. I'll come back to your question, bro. Haaland to brutally punish these naysayers. I am one of those naysayers, Jared. I still don't have Haaland, but I'm planning to get him in this week. Let's see. Dead ending with 11 doublers in 34. Cheers, Nihal. I think that's fine. Then, if you're dead ending in 34, then go with Liverpool. Then go with Diaz. I would go with Diaz, 100%. And I would... But Tottenham is a blank in 34, right? This is not an easy decision. I still go with Diaz and Salah. Although, Diaz, I don't think there's a lot of upside with Diaz, but I'd still go with this. I still think it's fine. It's better. Haaland, Faz says, first choice goalkeeper Ariola is injured. Should I do Turner to Kelleher? I think you can, yes. I'm not sure how long Alisson is out for, by the way, but I think short term this move can work, yes. I mean, if you're looking for a long-term goalkeeper, although there are no good long-term goalkeepers, I'd say you can think about Petrovic from Chelsea. Michael says Dubravka, Udogi, Porro, Gabriel, Palmer, Salah, Saka, Foden, Son. I mean, the team looks fine, bro. I mean, obviously there's a glaring omission in Haaland, and I'd say, if you can get Haaland, but Abhijit says -4 to get Bradley for Doty. Abhijit, the thing is, if you want to get Bradley, that's fine, but remember that Trent Alexander-Arnold might be back as soon as 33 or as late as 34. So, if you're taking a... Excuse me. So whenever you're taking a hit, you remember the hit should be for the longer duration, because expecting your hits to pay back in just one game week is not the right mindset, So if you think that Bradley is going to play in game week 33 and your hit can be repaid, that's fine. And if you don't have any defender to play, obviously, then I think that's the right move to make as well. Should I prioritize Watkins or Ake? I would move on Watkins for Haaland, bro. I think that's the one. No need to prioritize Ake. I think Watkins doesn't have good fixtures, doesn't have a double game week coming up, so, move him on, I'd say. Should I start 8 Nuri or Zabernai? I'd start 8 Nuri. He could have scored easily last game week. I don't know why he shot straight at the keeper. Is Foden a risky sell? I would say yes, he is. I think he's... against Arsenal, he was peripheral. I give you that. But, given the talent, given the way he's been playing this season, I think he definitely is a risky sell. Livermore, you really want to get a Newcastle defense who hasn't kept a clean sheet. You kept one clean sheet in I don't know how long. I would not do that. Nope. Wildcard 35, yeah, I answered that. The Spurs blank is the problem. Yep, that's the thing. If you don't have a free hit for 34, the Spurs blank is definitely the issue, my friend. I know you've made up your mind, but what was your percentage temptation to wildcard this week? It was pretty high, CAB initially, but when I realized that I still don't I don't want to make my decisions for game week 37 and game week 36 right now, because so much can change. The landscape can entirely change. Like, for example, for people who wildcarded last week, they've lost Gusto, they've lost Lichells, they've lost, Gordon to a red card. So many things can happen, and we're anticipating something which is going to happen 6 weeks later. So that just made up my mind to not wildcard this week, because in the end, why do I want to wildcard? Because I want to get the maximum out of the double game weeks, and along with that, I want to get the most out of my bench boost chip, right? So right now is not the time to do it. So I'm having to make do, my friend. So my mind is clear. Abhijit says, I've done my move Madison to Havertz. I like that, Abhijit. I mean, that there's upside, definitely upside in that move, at least in the short term. Madders was not looking that attacking or that influential in the last game I saw him. I don't know where he was playing. He was playing a little bit deeper, but from what I could see, I didn't like it. And he was taken off early as well. I mean, not earlier, but I mean, with I think it was 20 minutes to go or about 15 minutes to go. So didn't like that. Michael says, not enough for Haaland, only 0.7 in the bank. See, Michael, you've got two options. Either you take a hit, get some money and get in Haaland, and if you can't, then think about somebody like Isaac and Darwin, or that sort. CAB said I was 50-50 to be honest, but sticking to the plan like you. I have a big team envy on some people though. Well, CAB, I had a big team envy on some people as well, but it doesn't make a difference. Last week, we did well, right? We stuck to the plan and let the variance do the work for us, and for example, the Muniz pick has helped me so much since game week 29. It's unbelievable. It's just carried me through game week 29, and even last week he ended up scoring the late goal. So yeah, I'm just have to do it. Transfers made went the 8 Nuri route, says Nehal. Nehal, I think that's the right thing to do. The issue with Diaz is I just do not feel that the ceiling with Diaz is very high. Maybe he'll end up scoring 15 points in one of the game weeks, but generally the way I see him play, he just taking speculative shots. I mean, he's an awesome player, but not sure how much upside is there with the pick. Like, for example, with Darwin, you can see the potential of a big haul coming soon, right? With Luis Diaz, you can never say that. Not meant to be questioning his football skills. I mean, he's a great footballer, obviously, Luis Diaz, but in FPL terms, I mean, KVC is going Dubravka, Zabernay, Gabriel and Poro, Matters, Son, Palmer, Saka, Tony and Darwin. So you're not going for Haaland. Man, you're giving me the chills. If I knew like Darwin 100% was going to start, I possibly would go the Darwin route as well. Issue is I'm not sure if he's going to start. That's the only thing. I wish I knew that Darwin is going to start. I've simply got two options. Either to simply go with this. I mean, obviously I'm not going to go with Brighton Diaz, but I can go with not Enzo. Start Madison or Muniz. Man, I feel everybody asks me really difficult questions. I can tell you that much. Nottingham Forest away, huh? Man, this is a difficult question. I mean, if you own Son, you can take a chance and start Muniz. The guy's in form, I can tell you that much. Can't get to him. Haaland plus 8 Nuri are the two I feel missing out on. Oh yeah, I mean, you can't have everybody, mate. You know that. I mean, either you have a great team value and you just have an easy cash cow for Haaland, or else you just have to make do with stuff sometimes. I mean, even I'm not. The thing is, why I'm getting Haaland is not because I feel there's upside to this move. As I always talk about swords and shields, I want a shield for my team. Last week when I was playing, I felt that my team was a sword. That my entire team was a sword. I didn't have a shield to protect myself. If Haaland scored a hat trick last week, I would have gone practically. So that's the issue, my friend. But it's the thing is. It's all trade-offs, you can't have everybody. That's the entire point. Nail says I'll be getting Diaz in 34. Nail, that's fine. I mean, if you want, you can go with somebody like Darwin, Salah, Van Dijk. You can get Trent. For those, I mean, guys, to be honest with you, I have another option. For example, you don't have the money to get a Liverpool player like Diaz, or let us say you don't have the money to get Darwin. I mean, why don't you think about McAllister? He's given a return in the last 5 games. Look, 8 points against Brentford, a goal, 2 assists against Luton, 1 assist against Nottingham Forest, goal against Manchester City. I mean, assist against Brighton. I mean, you can consider McAllister as well. I mean, if you've got a Liverpool spot open, you feel you don't have enough money. For example, if I had enough money, I would definitely get McAllister and play him against Luton, against Sheffield. Unfortunately, I don't have the money, but there's another option for you guys if you're still thinking about which midfielder to get. Is Garnacho over Enzo? Surely was. CAV, I mean, Garnacho, I can get Garnacho, but will I play him? I probably won't. With Enzo, I might play him against Sheffield United. Just might. I don't have money to get a good midfielder, so I'm just making stuff here, like making do with whatever I can, bro. Yeah. Is Darwin essential for Watkins? I mean, it's not essential. Nobody's essential. I mean, unless it's kind of Salah this week, but I feel that I feel that Darwin has high upside, provided he starts against Sheffield United. That's the only caveat I can offer, because Klopp, if he wants to rest a few players, because he came back from the internationals with a knock or something, so I feel if he wants to rest Darwin, then this is the game to rest him. Otherwise, if you feel Darwin's gonna start, then I think you can get him, James. Neil says, hey Wiz, always good content. Hey Neil, I hope you're doing well, bro. He says, who to start between Udogi, Robinson, Ait-Nouri? I'm starting White and Bradley. Wow. Well, White and Bradley are nice. I'd say Ait-Nouri you can start. I mean, Wolves have a good chance to keep a clean sheet. On the other hand, I think Ait-Nouri is very attacking. He could easily have had a goal last week. And, you can take a chance with Ait-Nouri. Although, because I don't think Spurs are going to keep a clean sheet. With Fulham, I think it's touch and go. But you can, I mean, if I had these options, I'd possibly think about going with Ait-Nouri. CAV is actually -4 for Haaland plus Garnacho, but Son goes with Watkins. Can't do it for matters. See, CAV, if you're going to wildcard in game week 35, the only game week you really need Son for beyond, is the next game week, when he's potentially even the captaincy option. I don't think you might even get, look at this game. I think you need Son for this particular fixture. Actually, you know what? Let me take you to Ben Krillin's planner, and I hope I have it here. No, this is not that. This is it. So yeah. So if you see game week 32, see who are you going to captain. You don't have a Everton player against Burnley. You don't. You might captain Cole Palmer against Sheffield United, but that's an away fixture. So, you always kind of a little bit, wary about captaining players. Nottingham Forest at home is the fixture, is the money fixture here, where you want to think about captaining Son. Liverpool has got Manchester United away. You're not going to captain Salah. Arsenal has, Brighton away. You're not going to captain Saka. You don't captain Saka anyway. Manchester City, on the other hand, it has a away fixture against Crystal Palace. Yes, you can captain Haaland, but Crystal Palace are kind of a stingy team. Don't offer too many chances. I don't know how this game is going to pan out, but I think Son is the standout captaincy option here. So that's the only problem here, where you're going to kind of, yeah. I just wanted to give you my perspective on things. Isn't Reguilon meant to be banned for another 2 games? Reguilon? No, I don't think so. Reguilon is back, right? Reguilon was only, I think he was banned not for a malicious challenge. He was banned for a technical foul, I'd say, professional foul. So he's, so I think he should be back, my friend. Yeah, I think he should be all right. CAV says he's a straight red, but not for a bad foul. Yeah, it's just a professional foul, so I think he's gonna be all right. Giovan says, who are you selling for Enzo? Maybe another option for you to get the dollar you need is getting Wood for Tony. Giovan, I'm selling Madison for Enzo. The issue is Tony. I need Tony for this fixture. This one. I need Tony in game week 33. The reason why I need Tony is he's a differential for me. I need swords. I know he's not been doing well, but I'm telling you, I can feel it. A haul is due for this man. He could have had a hat-trick against United. I don't know what was going on. Why did he keep missing on chances? But, I want to keep him. I actually want to keep Tony. It's not that I can't. I didn't get this in my mind to sell him. Also, I didn't like the way Madison played. So, just kind of thinking that I want to keep Tony again. Even against Brighton, I want him. Even against Sheffield, I want him. I'd be okay with Madison or Haaland there. See, if that's fine, then you can do it. Obviously, if you ask me which one is more desirable out of Son and Haaland, I'd say Haaland. I thought you were planning 31. No, Fadzali, I changed my plan. I'm going to wildcard in game week 35, bro. Jug says 8 Nouri was substituted early in this last game. I remember correctly. Is he even fit to start? And with Dawson already sidelines, what chances are Wolves have a clean sheet? I mean, Jugs, how many teams do actually get clean sheets these days is the issue, bro. As long as, if you don't want to get 8 Nouri, you can go for Arsenal defender. Because you're looking for a game week 34 defender is the issue. Otherwise, Jacob Kivior is 4.4 million. Is a really great option from Arsenal, I tell you. Not many teams are keeping clean sheets. The only thing I will tell you to do is don't spend too much on your defense. Just make do with whatever you can, bro. Hey Himanshu, I hope you're doing well. He says Saliba, Poro, Estupinan, you mean, right? Saliba, Poro. I would go with the Zabernai over Estupinan. Saka, Salah, Son, Foden, Palmer, no issues there. Solanke, Tony. Man, Haaland is a glaring miss there. I can feel it in my bones. Is it possible for you to who will you sell? If you can get Haaland by selling Foden for someone cheap, is there enough money in the bank for that, Himanshu? I would say you need to get, if it's possible, you can get Haaland and sell Foden. I would like that, and I would also. But who would you play him for? It doesn't feel right to bench Muniz, but yes, if it's possible, Himanshu, if you can get Haaland by selling Foden, I think you can do it. Otherwise, I think I like the team anyway. I think team is fine. I would pick Zabernai over Stupinan. Giovan says Wood also has a good fixture, just giving you an option to avoid Enzo. I mean, Giovan, you're right. It's just a 3-game week punt. I don't really want to get Enzo, but the thing is, the options are limited. I don't want to sell Tony is the issue, bro. Wood has good fixtures, I know, but does Wood have the same potential as Tony? Not so sure. But thank you so much, my friend. I think that's a great perspective to have. I mean, I would definitely, we can definitely consider that. So let us say we end up keeping Madison. Basically, we need a 5 million forward. I mean, I wish I had. I wouldn't have had Muniz. I could simply bring in Muniz, but Kuna is out of the question. Otherwise, Kuna was a good option too. What are your plans, Jackson? I am going to reveal my plans soon. Mateta, no. I Crystal Palace attack. I don't really rate him, bro. Yeah, I mean, Chris Wood is fine. Yeah, I mean, Mateta is all right. I mean, I don't really personally don't want to go with Mateta, but I mean, yeah. I mean, if anybody wants to go there, it's all right. You know, he has scored in the last game and beyond that. I mean, Wood and Mateta have been kind of doing the same things. Ait Nouri was only sub due to fatigue. Played a lot on international duty. I think Ait Nouri is gonna be fine. I would keep Ait Nouri, and I would even get him if you want. You know, the other options I already told you. There's like no good defensive options, guys. Just remember that. So Vajit says Madison to Saka or keep the free transfer. Already have Havertz. I would keep Madison for this game week. I'm not even sure how much Saka is going to play this game week, bro. Nail says Leno, Saliba, Gabriel, Ryan Ait Nouri, Foden, Saka, Salah, Palmer, Solanke, Darwin, Haaland. That's amazing, Nail. I like the team. Looks awesome, bro. Son and a -4, my only way to get to Haaland before 33. But that's the trade-off. Like, if you want Haaland, then you know, that's a decision you're gonna have to make, bro. Ait Nouri, yeah, we read that. So I mean, this is the thing, guys. You know, these are the 50-50 decisions that you have to make. For example, I want to keep Tony. I don't want to sell Tony. The way they played against United, I don't know why they did not beat them. They definitely deserve to win against United, guys. I mean, they were really awesome, Brentford, against United. CAV says 10x harder decision because Haaland is against my team. Well, I know what you mean. I mean, it was hard for me to bench Saka last week, but you remember I did it. Sometimes you have to keep your emotions for your club and FPL separate. You should not let your emotions hurt you. I benched Saka, right? I did the right thing. You know, so, you know, if you feel Haaland is gonna score, even though it's against Aston Villa, you still should do it, bro. But, you know, again, it's a tough decision because transferring out a player like Son for a hit is never the easy decision. You know, I personally would find it very hard to do it. I mean, if it wasn't for Madison. One to bench from Porro, Gusto, Reguilon. I think Gusto automatically is gonna get benched. Just play Porro and Gusto, my friend, and if he plays, fine. Otherwise, I mean, Reguilon has a decent fixture against Brighton, to be honest with you. You can simply bench Gusto and play Porro and Reguilon. It's a difficult one, but I think Gusto's not gonna play this game personally. Aaron says we have a real dilemma because the thing is we're not going to get Mauricio Pochettino's press conference before the deadline. So, you know, this is kind of in the dark and we're going to have to make do with stuff. The information we have. By the way, guys, if anybody gets early team news or anything like that from Twitter, I haven't checked. Let me go and check just so I can let you know. As of now, I don't see any, but I'll let you know if I have any. Later was asking Spion Cop whether he expects Darwin to start versus Sheffield United. I mean, if I can get the answer, I might not get Haaland. I might get Darwin. Oh man, the romance. I don't see any team news, do I? No, I don't. By the way, Bukayo Saka trained today. For all that counts, I don't think that means a lot because he was fine. Arteta said it was just fatigue, the reason he took him off. So Aaron says, I have a real dilemma on who to captain. Who's your captain for this week? Currently leaning towards Darwin Núñez. I mean, Aaron, if you have Salah, I would captain Salah. If you own Darwin Núñez, that's fantastic. I personally would not captain him. CAV says, think I might just do it. Win-win unless City score without him contributing. I think it's... City have not been great, but I think they're gonna want to win against Aston Villa because Aston Villa beat them at Villa Park. So I think they're gonna want to win, and if they want to stay in the title race, they have to win now. With Liverpool now leading them with 3 points, I think City are gonna do it. I don't have any doubts. Yes, Haaland might not score, but we are not going to captain him anyway. We're captaining Salah, right? Which makes me think if you're not going to captain him, maybe Haaland is not that important. Like Bradley or Guardiola. Longer term Guardiola, short term Bradley. Gusto trained today also. Yeah, I read that news. I just could not confirm it. I read some tweets about that as well, but on Chelsea forums I couldn't really find it. 2 training sessions before. See, his guys. Spian Cop is replying to Late Riser. Late Riser asked him, "Are you expecting?" Actually, why am I reading it? Why don't I show you? Wait, guys, I'm sorry. Just a second. Let me show you. I'm not here to show you people's tweets, but I think this is important. There you go. So Late Riser asked him, expecting Darwin Núñez to start versus Sheffield United, and he says 2 training sessions before Thursday's game, today and tomorrow, so not sure, but don't see why he wouldn't start, even if he got only 60 minutes, then was saved for the Manchester United game on Sunday. So Spian Cop also thinks that he might start, but he might get reduced minutes. So yeah, that's all, guys. See, I'm giving you all the information I get. It's not like anything is, but these people are fans of the club, so their opinion counts for something, right? Thoughts on going Muniz over Darwin? I personally, I think Muniz is a great option, but over Darwin, I think not. Isaac minutes guarantee versus Núñez chaos. Yeah, well, that's true. CAV says you're right. No one's captaining Haaland, and also captain Son next week in the best fixture. That's made up my mind finally. Well, that's fine. But that made me confused. I already thought that if we're not gonna captain a player, then we don't need to get him. And now I'm confused myself. And with last 15 minutes to go, I hope it's not Trumpets time. I will start Porro or Zabernay. I would start Porro over Zabernay because Porro is attacking as well. I mean, last week he easily could have got a goal. His left foot is just not as good as his right foot. That's why he didn't, get that goal. Otherwise, the pass was awesome, and he could have easily have scored. I've ended up confusing myself, giving answers. See, that's what happens. Right on, guys. You know what I've learned over the time, guys? I've learned over the time that it's not good to change your decisions on stream. So I will stick with whatever decisions I made before stream. Like I was confused all day long yesterday what to do, but I think I'm gonna stick with my decision. I'm telling you this. Spian Cop says, with games coming thick and fast, players' minutes will inevitably get managed in an attempt to avoid any unnecessary further injuries between now and end of the season. So he does expect Darwin to get limited minutes or something of that order, right? So it's okay, guys. I mean, this guy is the fan of Liverpool. He posts about Liverpool all day long. He gets early team news as well. So let's see. 15 minutes to go. Well, no, I don't think there's any team news forthcoming, by the way, guys. It's absolutely dead, like silence. I guess, yeah, no. I can't, I don't see any. Anyways, guys, let's answer your questions if you have any. I mean, what's Darwin minutes been like in Europe? I've not paid much attention. He's played the games. I mean, I'm not sure, what he's going to do in like further in the competition, but he's definitely been playing. You know, Darwin Nunes has been playing in the Europa League as well. He does get minutes. He always ends up. I mean, he scored. I think was it 2 goals? Was it against which team was it? Sparta Prague or something of that order. I think he scored a couple of goals against Sparta Prague. Darwin Nunes, right? I don't follow to be honest with you that much, but I think he's been playing in Europa League all the time. I don't think he's been missing. He even played in the FA Cup. He played in the Europa League. So his minutes have. The issue was not his minutes in the Europa League. Issue was that he's been. He came back from international break with a knock. By the way, Arsenal training pictures are out and Saka's been seen in training. But that doesn't count for anything because he was not injured anyway, and Arteta said that he was taken off due to fatigue. So, it doesn't tell us anything. It doesn't tell us anything. Do you think Richarlison will start the West Ham United game? This is a difficult question to answer, actually, Neil, because the thing is, even before the previous game, he said, before the Luton game, I mean, he said that Richarlison was going to be alright, but then I don't know what happened. Richarlison didn't start and came on very late, so, it's hard to say. Personally, who's he gonna start for? Werner's been playing all right. Johnson's been on the right hand side. Madison, I think it's touch and go. If you ask me, I don't think he will, unless he wants to change the shape from a 4-2-3-1 to another shape, because in the midfield, Pap Matarsar is back along with Bissouma, and then Madison plays in the midfield flanked by Werner and Johnson, and Son is the striker. So I don't see where Richarlison comes in, to be honest with you, bro. It's hard to call that one. Neil, I'm sorry I don't have a clear answer for you, bro. Todd says, sorry I'm late. Hey Todd, it says we are having HVAC work done at the house. I needed to talk to them. Cheers, mate. No worries. You are in time. You still have 10 minutes and we're going to make it work, bro. So Todd says, hey, was Bowen to Luis Diaz for free, or Bowen to Garnacho and Morris to Darwin for -4? I would go with Bowen to Luis Diaz, Todd, because the logic here is simple. Luis Diaz's minutes are more secure than Darwin. So, and you get 2 games out of him, and I don't see any game in which you would want to play Bowen and or you would want to play Garnacho. I mean, I don't see any game in which you would want to play Garnacho, because you won't play him against Chelsea. Maybe Bournemouth away you want to play him, or Liverpool at home. I don't know. I mean, Garnacho doesn't have easy fixtures. I mean, obviously, if you're not going to wildcard in 35, then we got a different discussion, So based on the chip strategy, if you're wildcarding in 35, then definitely I would think about going with Luis Diaz. I don't think a -4 for Darwin, especially with limited minutes. I think Luis Diaz's minutes are more secure than our Darwin's. Plan to wildcard 35. I think Luis Diaz. Obviously, I feel that Darwin Núñez has more upside than Luis Diaz, but the problem is I'm not even sure how many minutes Darwin Núñez is going to get against Sheffield United. And then they've got United away, and then they've got the Crystal Palace fixture, right? And then we free hit in 34 and wildcard in 35. So is a -4 hit justified? I'm not so sure, bro. It's like, it's difficult. Everybody is going for Darwin and you're going for Luis Diaz. Obviously it feels difficult, but I'm not sure how much difference it is going to make. You know, tough one, Todd. I hope you were helped by my answer, bro. CAV says -4 for me, Todd. Cheers, CAV. Neil says I'll keep him on the bench. Cheers, mate. Himanshu says can't get to Haaland. Might go with the squad I mentioned earlier, although Muniz or Palmer. 100% Palmer, Himanshu. Palmer is fantastic, bro. He's on penalties for Chelsea. He's playing at home against United. I would keep Palmer over Muniz. Parag Verma says Raya, Dubravka, Bradley, Gabriel, Guardiola, Aït-Nouri, Zabernais, Sarabia, Son, Salah, Saka, Palmer, Solanke, Haaland, Mateta. On a wildcard with 2.3 in the bank, any changes? Which bench boost and free hit left? Obviously, his free hit's going to be 34, bench boost and 37. Raya. I would not go with Dubravka. Not a chance. I would go with Petrovic from Chelsea along with Raya. Bradley, Gabriel, Guardiola, Aït-Nouri, Zabernai. I mean, if you want, you can. You already got the Raya, right? Right, that's fine. Sarabia. See, if you already have free hit, I don't think you need Sarabia, because you already got free hit in 34, and that's really when you need Sarabia. Otherwise, you won't need Sarabia in your team anyway, right? So you can change Sarabia. You can update him. You know, you've got, how many Liverpool have you got? You've got 2, right? You can go with somebody like McAllister as well. You know, just to play him against teams like Sheffield United and Crystal Palace, because you already got a free hit, right? So you will not need Sarabia. I would replace him with somebody like McAllister, bro. Otherwise, the team looks fine. I would replace Dubravka with Petrovic. Christian says, would you do Foden, Ake and Watkins? Foden, Ake and Watkins for Salah, Muniz and Bradley. For a -8. Watkins is not going to play. Ake is not going to play. I think... Christian, I mean... maybe Foden and Watkins for a -4 and Ake maybe later, you know. Or I think that's fine if you want to do it. That's alright, because, you know, you want to get a certain player. I mean, Muniz is not important, to be honest with you. But if you need the cash for Salah, then I understand. I mean, if you can field 11 with the -4, then you can make one transfer next week as well. Don't need to take a -8, but it depends on what you want to do. Todd says Panto wildcard in 35. Thanks, Wiz. Cheers, Todd. I hope I answered your question. It was a difficult one, bro. Devarga says I took -4 to bring in Darwin and Bradley because I can afford to. That's fine. -4 is alright. I mean, if you feel Darwin's gonna get minutes, it's fine. My transfers I'm gonna make now. Getting Haaland with -4 and captaining him. I might get Haaland for a -4. I won't captain him. Transfers made. Salah captain, Aït-Nouri in for Son and Trippier. Yeah, looks good. FPL Jugs. Hey Sanjay, I hope any early leak. I'm gonna go on Twitter one last time. If I don't see any leak, I'm going to make my transfers. No, nothing. Nothing, guys. No. People are bringing in Mateta and flaunting. That's all that's happening on Twitter. Alright, guys. Need to make my transfer. Need 5 minutes to go. I don't want to keep it more late. Safe to go without Saka. Got Havertz. Allows me to have Salah, Haaland, Son, double Arsenal. That's fine, I think. For this week, I think that's alright. I mean, I would be scared if Saka starts against Luton and get full 90 minutes, but I don't think he will. So this week, it's fine. In the coming weeks, you can get Saka back. It's fine, Sanjay. Right, guys. Time to make my transfers. Time to go through with the original plan, right? So the options I've got is Enzo Fernandez. Another option I've got is Jacob Murphy. This is what I've got, like just absolute dross, you know, like players you'd never want to bring in, but you have to. That's the issue. I mean, Garnacho I can bring in, but who would I realistically play Garnacho against, right? I would not play Garnacho against Liverpool. I would not play Garnacho against Chelsea. Maybe, just maybe, I can play against Bournemouth away, but that's about it. That's about it. Give me a good player beyond 5.1 million who I can actually play. Adingra doesn't have a good fixture, so I'm not sure which fixture I can play him in. Sarabia I can get in. Yes. Don't know if it helps me, but at least it saves me some money so I can get a good defender in place of Doty next week, I guess. I mean, Sarabia can work, can not work. Sarabia is the option, I guess. It's got 3 good fixtures, and that's all I need. I guess Sarabia is an option. Although you should know that I've considered all these options like 10 times. All of them. I'm very, very meticulous about my stuff, even though it doesn't look like that on the stream in this 1 hour, but I've gone through all these options multiple times, guys. Because I wasn't satisfied, that is why I didn't make my transfers. So, Sarabia. Hang on. Let's search. Tavernier is a midfielder, Todd. Yeah, I mean, Tavernier is not getting many minutes is the issue with Tavernier. I mean, even Justin Kluivert is an option too, but again, guys, we're hunting. It's the bargain basement, right? It's the bargain basement. You can't get good players in the bargain basement. So I've got the options of Garnacho. Elanga, I guess, is also an option, but it hardly gets to play 90 minutes is the issue with Elanga. Adingra, again, limited minutes, sometimes scores, sometimes doesn't. Get Mateta or Semeneo. Semeneo is a midfielder? He's a striker, isn't it? I don't know. I may be wrong. Mateta is a striker. I thought you were asking for yourself. I would go for Semeneo. It depends on what your horizon is. If you're going for the next only 2 or 3 weeks, then go for Semeneo. Longer term, I'd say Mateta. But right now, I'm a little bit stuck trying to get a player for my own team, bro. 1 minute, 30 seconds to go. Time to lock. So, Sarabia it is. Go for Sarabia. Let's go. I would go with Sar as well, but again, all are negligible. So Madison out for Sarabia, Watkins out for Haaland. Confirm quick. Don't have the time. We need to set the team as well. Remember, we keep forgetting these things. Salah captain. Where's my vice captain? My Haaland is my vice captain. Sarabia first on the bench. Pau Torres is second on the bench. Dubravka is my keeper. I think it's fine, guys. I hope everything is alright. Everything is in order. See, if Saka doesn't play, then I get Sarabia. What? I refreshed. Oh. Insane hamsters, man. What are they giving them to eat? Salah's my captain, guys. Haaland is the vice captain. Although, it's gonna be tough. With people getting 3 Liverpool players and me having just 1. Gonna be a tough one to take. But it is what it is, guys. I mean, just hope it works out. If Saka doesn't play, Sarabia comes in. I'm fine with Burnley fixture. I mean, I'm fine with all of these fixtures for Sarabia. He's got 3 goals and 2 assists this season, so it's 3 goals and 6 assists this season. So I'm fine with my bench player. I plan to wildcard in game week 35, Fadzali. Yeah. Well, it's deadline, guys. Good evening, Imran. I hope for the sake of FPL, you made your transfers, Blow, because right when you sent your message, the deadline was passed, Imran. Fadzali says bench boost in 37. Yes, mate. bench boost in 37. So I wildcard in 35. I get a team for 36 and 37. I will free hit. No, I will use my free hit in game week 34, bro. I'm just going to dead end my team in 33. That's what I'm gonna do. I have a free hit for 34. I will wildcard in 35 and I'll bench boost in 37. That's the plan. Imran, I hope you made your transfers, bro. I honestly hope so, bro. Chance of a Saka bench? I think there is a chance of a Saka bench. I give you that. I think there's a chance of a Saka benching, definitely. So by the way, guys, I would like to thank you all for coming to today's stream. So this is a small gift from my side. Thank you all for being regular. You know, regulars on the channel, guys, to spend time here and you know, spend your deadlines with me. I always really appreciate all of you guys. Cheers, Nehal. Nehal's been here since the longest of durations, and although he does watch a lot of other channels, he does find time to come here, guys, and that is the most appreciable thing. And he's a valuable part of the Twitter private chat that we have, and it's just a beautiful group and a beautiful community that we do have. Fazali says next time. Yep, definitely, bro. It's actually chooses randomly, but yeah, definitely you'll get your chance the next time. So guys, I mean, today's transfer was left a bit late because I was contemplating not getting Haaland and getting somebody like Darwin Núñez in place of Watkins, and not taking the -4 hit. In the end, I ended up deciding to get Haaland, even though for a hit, because guys, remember, the wars are not won by swords. The wars are also won by shields. So we have to consider that as well. You know, you have to consider that as well. So this Haaland is my shield. Haaland is not my sword. He is my shield. And you know, Lightrace says any team predictions. Lightrace, to be honest with you, I can do predictions. I do have the time. I feel that the results are being too random these days. Hard to predict, but we can give it a go. I mean, why not? Year predictions for Salah. I think it's gonna be one. It's in the. I think it's gonna be 130% around, Nehal. It could be more. It could be more. But I'd say the minimum would be 130%, especially around our ranks. I think everybody would own and captain him. So Nehal says it's 170-ish. I mean, that's gonna be insane. Though, to be honest with you, I do agree with you, because I think he was the most favorable captain this week, so everybody would have captained him. The spread wouldn't be like last week when some people captained Son, some captained Palmer, some captained Salah. So yes, I guess it would be more than 150, I'd say. Yeah, agree with you, Nihal. Alright guys, let's do some quick predictions and then let's call it a day. So the first game today is actually they're all almost starting at the same time, so there's nothing much between them. So thank you so much for your donation, Todd. He says hit the like button on the way out, and he says thanks, Wiz. My fingers are crossed that Luis Diaz bangs and Darwin gets a 1-pointer. Todd, I mean, even if Darwin bangs, I do hope that Luis Diaz gets a great return. I mean, even if he gets less points than Darwin, I think it'll matter more because he's a differential. Nobody really owns Luis Diaz, so even a goal from Diaz, it would definitely be awesome. Thank you once again for the support and just being here, being regular on the streams. You guys make this community, you know. I'm just lucky to be the one doing the talking, but you guys are the ones who actually make this community, guys. Thank you so much once again. So let's guys, let's move on and let's do the predictions. And I hope everybody watching the stream, let me see how many people are actually watching the stream. There's like 10 of us, I guess, 9, 10. So let's try and participate in the predictions, and let's all try to be a part of this. Right. So Newcastle versus Everton, especially for those who own Isaac, I think this is going to be a lucrative game. We're going to be hoping that, and also Everton have not been really good, guys. I mean, Everton have been conceding. They lost to Bournemouth. You know, they lost to Manchester United, which was expected. They lost at home to West Ham United, drew against Brighton, and before that they were drawing games, and before that they were actually winning games. You know, they drew with Spurs. You know, they drew with Fulham. This was the point when they were actually doing well. I think they were enthused by the fact that their points had been deducted of them, but now they're just back to being shambles. And they're relying on other teams not coming out of the relegation zone rather than doing anything about it. I go with the 2-0 win for Newcastle. I will go with the 2-0 win for Newcastle. I hope Longstaff scores both the goals, with Murphy assisting all of them. Light Races Everton haven't won so far in 2024. Well, I don't expect them to win today as well. Although, yes, I think Newcastle can concede, because the issue is Newcastle defense is in tatters. I mean, Jamal Lascelles got injured as well. Trippier is injured, so they're gonna have to play with a makeshift. The only player who's part of the real defense, I think, Dan Burn and what's the name of the Swiss defender? This skips my mind, but yeah. So I'm going with a 2-1. I'm going with Todd's prediction. I'm changing my prediction as well. So let's Livra is injured too, probably, says Nehal. I guess Matt Ritchie is gonna have to come in. Yeah, Scher, exactly, Fabian Scher. So 2-1. Let's go with the 2-1 as well. So it's kind of a unanimous prediction, except Light Race who expects Newcastle to go with the 3-0. Right. Nottingham Forest versus Fulham. I see this game as being a cagey one, but I'm going with the 2-2 prediction. I don't think Fulham is going to win this game because Nottingham do have it in them to score. But I don't think they're going to lose it as well. So I'm going with the 2-2 prediction. I'm going with the draw, basically a scoring draw between these two clubs. Nahal says 1-1 between Nottingham Forest and Fulham. I hope for a Muniz goal. Is a differential for me. I'm not sure how much he's owned, but I'm hoping that he's a great differential. Let's see what his ownership is. 9.7%. See, I've got some differentials here, guys. I think at this moment in time, it is very important to go with a few differentials. You know, not damaging yourself. That is why I went for Haaland. So I have a shield and then I have some swords. So it is very important at this time in the season. Just like I recommended Todd to go for Diaz, and I hope for the love of God that he does something, because the ceiling with Luis Diaz is not that high. So all we can expect is for him to get his average score like 6, 7, 8. I'd be happy with that. 2-1 Fulham, says Light Rays. Nihal says 1-1. Todd says 2-2 as well. So this is a match which we are finding hard to predict, but let's go with a scoring draw. Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace. This is going to be a snooze fest, it feels. Crystal Palace matches generally are a snooze fest these days, but I think this is going to be a 1-1 draw between Bournemouth and Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace kind of defending resiliently but still conceding goals. You know, hard to call this one, to be honest with you, but I'm going with a 1-1 draw. Let's say Neil says 1-1. I hope it is for the Bournemouth game. Neil says 2-1 to Bournemouth. I hope Solanke stays quiet. Solanke is the one who's going to kill my rank. Light Ray says 1-1 as well. People who own Solanke are mostly the ones who actually held him over from game week 29 and did not wildcard. But there are very few people who actually brought Solanke in on wildcard. Actually, most people brought in Alexander Isaac, Darwin and Haaland. But some people have Solanke on wildcard. But mostly people who did not wildcard in after 29 are the ones who actually hold Solanke. Or free hit in 29, I mean to say. I mean, the people who free hit in 29 have Solanke from game week 28. So they rolled it over basically from that. So who haven't wildcarded, they actually hold him. Burnley versus Wolves. I think Wolves are... Todd says 2-1 to Crystal Palace. Wow. This would be a great win if that happens. Bournemouth are hot and cold. I do not. It's hard for me to call that team, but I guess a few players coming back from injury are gonna help Bournemouth. Let's hope for the best, guys. Burnley versus Wolves is gonna be an interesting game. I think Wolves last week they were, I mean they were unlucky. I mean, at the start of the game, this guy, Ait Nouri, should have scored against Aston Villa. I don't know why he did not shoot. I think he thought he was offside, so he didn't even take the shot seriously. I think it was weird, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's what happens, you know. So, I think Wolves are going to win 2-1 against Burnley. Neil says 2-1 to Bournemouth. So Neil has the same prediction as Nehal. Interesting. I'm going with a 2-1 win for Wolves. I don't think Wolves are going to keep a clean sheet because Burnley almost always score at home, and Fofana is going to be back for this game because he could not play against the parent club that was Chelsea. I think Burnley found something in that game against Chelsea. You know, they were trailing 1-0 and they found something, guys, to come back, and you know, with 10 men they scored from set pieces. Then Josh Cullen scored a goal and they were able to draw. Chelsea fans would have been deflated with that performance. 2-1 Wolves, says Nehal, and 8 Nouri assist. I would love that too. Although I don't own him, I would love it for you as well. So the last game of the day, Todd says Burnley 0-1 Wolves. I mean, that would be the ideal result for 8 Nouri owners, but I unfortunately think that Burnley will score. So the last game of the day, Spurs versus West Ham. I mean, West Ham, again, a crazy kind of a team, leading 3-1, you know, and then throwing away the lead because they went into their shells, you know, again against Aston Villa, 1-1, 2-2 against Burnley. You know, they've not been in form, West Ham United. This was the game in which Jared Bowen absolutely, you know, dug the dagger in Brentford with his hat-trick. But beyond that, I mean, you know, they won against Everton, and then they've gone a bit quiet, I'd say. Kudus coming back is definitely a big thing for them. I'm going with the 2-2 draw though. I feel Spurs are struggling in attack and they are struggling in defense. Yes, they're able to win. They were able to win against Luton. But it wasn't easy, guys. It wasn't easy at all. I mean, it was right at the end that Son scored, you know. They lost 3-0 to Fulham. So if you think Spurs are in a great form, they are not. Yes, they beat Aston Villa. This was the match in which Aston Villa had to win. They faltered. This was the top 4 place 6-pointer, and Spurs were just rampant, and Aston Villa disappeared, and McGinn got a red card, I think, in this game. But I think recently Spurs, you know, they lost to Fulham, and even they won. It was hard for them to win against Luton. So I'm going with the 2-2 draw between West Ham and Spurs. Let's see what you have to say. Todd says the same, 2-2 as well. Lighter says Spurs are going to win 3-2, and Neil says Spurs are going to win 3-2 as well. Well, this is going to be an interesting game to watch. Actually, this is the one which is going to come the most late. It is close to 1 o'clock at night, so I'm not sure how much of this game I'm going to be able to watch because I've got to teach in the morning. But yes, I mean, this is going to be an interesting game to watch. Arsenal versus Luton. Guys, see, this game, I'm not saying that Arsenal are going to lose this game, or it's going to be Arsenal going to, you know, like, not win this game or draw this game, but, you know, Luton made it very difficult for Spurs. They were defending so deep. Sometimes, you know, these games can be hard to win. Even last time when Arsenal played Luton, it was 3-3 for the longest duration. Or was it 4-4? I don't remember. But Declan Rice scored late header. And you know, he won the game right at the death. So I am going with the 2-0 win for Arsenal. It's not going to be easy, I can tell you that. It could be a 1-0 win I'm going with a 1-0 win for Arsenal, actually. It's not going to be easy, I tell you. You know, either it's going to be a goal fest, like a 6-something, or it's going to be a 1-0 win. Nothing in between. Neil says 3-1 to Arsenal. Lighter says 4-1 to Arsenal. Abhishek says good evening. Just like Unai Emery. Good evening. Yeah. So I'm going with a 1-0 win for Arsenal, guys. Brentford versus Brighton. Brentford were awesome against Manchester United. United had no right to score in that game. United had no right to actually draw that game. I don't know how Ivan Toney did not score the gilt edge chances he had. I don't know how he kept hitting the bar, how he kept hitting the post. I will never know. But Mason Mount came on, he scored a goal, and immediately they responded by the goal of their own. I'm going with a 2-1 win for Brentford in this one. I am hoping that Brentford can finally turn the corner. They've been struggling this season, but now with their players coming back, I think they can finally, and the way they played, and with Mbumo and Tony. So I'm going with the 2-1 win for Brentford. I hope for the best. Todd says Gunners 3-0 Luton. I would love that. 2-2 draw. Tony Hall says Lightrays. Actually, yes, 2-1 says Nehal. Yeah. So hoping for the best. And the last game, Manchester City. Last game of the second day. On Thursday, or on Wednesday. Manchester City versus Aston Villa. I'm going with a 2-0 win for Manchester City. I don't think Aston Villa are going to get, pounded or anything like that. I think it's simply going to be a cagey game with Watkins missing the game. I think Aston Villa will not play the high line. I think they're going to try to play a low-lying deep block. So personally, I think that it's going to be a cagey game in which, City maybe will score 1 or 2 goals. I'm going with a 2-0 win for City. So Todd says 2-2 Brighton and Brentford. So Nehal initially had a 2-2. Lightrace has a 2-2 as well, and so does Todd. I went for a 2-1 for Brentford. So Manchester City, I'm going with a 2-0 win. Nehal says 1-0. Lightrace says 2-1 to Manchester City. 2-1 would be great, but since Edison is not in goal, and so hopefully doesn't concede from the first shot on goal, and they have a chance to keep a clean sheet. But yeah, if Edison plays, then I think they're gonna concede 1. Maybe Leon Bailey or Diaby can score. If Watkins doesn't play, I guess Duran is gonna play. They don't have a like-for-like replacement for Watkins, so it's gonna be tough. I mean, there's nobody to hold the ball up. It's going to be tough for Villa. But City are not looking that sharp either. So I'm going with a 2-0 win for City. Moving on, guys. The game which we are scared about. Not all. The people who own Darwin, the people who own Bradley, the people who own Salah, they're going to be happy. People like me who just own Salah and don't own any defense, or Darwin or Luis Diaz, or not even McAllister. But Salah is my captain, so I hope it's going to be all right. I'm going with a 3-0 win for Liverpool. I think Sheffield United have become a little bit tighter in defense. They're starting to defend a little differently now. I mean, it's not the same Sheffield United which conceded 8 goals to Newcastle. So I'm going with the 3-0 win for Liverpool. And I hope Salah scores a hat-trick, by the way. Nehal says 2-0 to Liverpool. Lighter says 5-1 to Liverpool. Todd says 4-1 in the City Villa game. And Neil says 3-1 to City. So City game, everybody expects a different score. Nehal expects a 1-0. I expect a 2-0. Lighter expects 2-1. Todd says 4-1 and Neil says 3-1. No result. Nobody's prediction matches each other. Nobody knows what City is going to do, actually. And in the Liverpool game, Nehal says 2-0 and Lighter says 5-1. I don't foresee a game of the nature of 5-1 because I feel if Liverpool are winning, they would not want to expend their energy to kind of go all in and trounce Sheffield United. I think if they're winning by 2 or 3 goals, I think they'll take off certain players, they'll change and they'll rest their players, So it's not that Liverpool are not fit enough to score 5-6 goals against Sheffield, but I think they'll want to conserve their energy for what's to come. There's Europa League fixtures coming, there's Premier League fixtures coming thick and fast, so I think Liverpool will want to conserve their energy, and that's just my hunch. So I'm going with the 3-0 win for Liverpool. Todd says 4-0. Neil says 6-0. Lighter says 5-1. Man, oh man, oh man. And Neil, the pragmatist, just like myself, he says 2-0. So the last game, Neil even says you'll not walk alone, showing us that he's a Liverpool fan as well, just like Neil. Right, so Chelsea versus Manchester United. I'm going with a 2-2 draw in this game. I think Cole Palmer scores in this game. I also think that Rasmus Højlund scores in this game as well. The weakness in the box, I think it can be exploited by Rasmus. And the only problem is, they just don't pass to him. Neither does Anthony, neither does Garnacho, neither does Rashford. They all just try to score, Just like, if you watched the Arsenal and City game, at one point in time, guys, Leandro Trossard, Martin Odegaard put an amazing through ball for Leandro Trossard, across the field, across the face of goal. Martinelli was free. There was no defender with him. He was on goal. He was onside. Just if he had rolled the ball or passed the ball across the field to Martinelli, Arsenal could have nicked that game in the 80th or some minute. And I don't know what Trossard did there. Maybe he had a bad touch or he took it wide and then he tried to shoot himself. But man, Arsenal had the chance to nick it. Arsenal had the chance to win that game. And if we had won, wow, that would have been awesome. Not to go off topic. So I went with the 2-2 prediction, and I'm waiting for yours is prediction as well, guys. So let me know what you think is going to happen between Chelsea and United. Both teams who nobody knows what they're gonna play like. Everybody feels that, they've turned a corner and then they'll go and lose to or draw. Like 10-man Burnley scored 2 goals against Chelsea. So something of that sort. Let me know what you think, guys, and then we'll put an end to the stream for today. I've just got Nihil's prediction for now. Actually, I don't even know how many people are actually watching. We got 8 people watching. Right, guys, so I guess Lighter says 2 of the most confusing, inconsistent teams in EPL. 2-2 as well, I guess. The teams which we cannot call, we automatically go for the 2-2 kind of a result. I agree. Chelsea are not confusing. Chelsea are just consistently average this season. Arsenal is still leading Liverpool on goal difference, so they do not need to score goals, and this is the best game. Do need to score goals. Yeah, I understand. But if they score 3 goals, 4 goals, I think it should be all right, right? But I get where you're coming from, Neil. But I don't think that this league is going to be won on league goal difference, if you ask me. Arsenal fixtures are too difficult. I don't think personally Arsenal are going to win the league. Although I'm an Arsenal fan, I should not be saying this. But I don't feel that they're going to win the league. If you look at these fixtures, Brighton away, very tricky fixture. Aston Villa home, maybe we can win this one. Wolves away, tricky. Chelsea home, again, tricky. Spurs away, a local derby. Would Spurs want us to win the league? They'll give everything not to stop us from winning the league. Manchester United away as well. We won it there in 2001 when Wiltord scored the goal. When Henry was injured and Wiltord scored the goal, and I remember he was sliding and Kanu jumped over him. And that was the time when we won the league at Old Trafford in 2001. Just tells you how old I am and how long I've been watching EPL for. But it's not like me to be pensive, but it's not been many league titles after that, so that's the one I remember very clearly. I was watching that game. I was watching the game in 2003 when Van Nistelrooy missed the penalty to save our invincible status, and Martin Keown pushing him all over. So yeah. Anyways, guys, I don't think Arsenal are going to win the league with these fixtures. It's very, very difficult, and if they can do it, it's fine, but I don't think this league is going to be won on goal difference, Neil. So Todd says 2-1 to Chelsea, and guys, I can talk about football all day long. I love it. Absolutely do. And Neil says Chelsea 1-0. 1-0 is going to be a very interesting result. I don't think that's going to happen. When Chelsea play, I don't think it's a 1-0 kind of a match, but who knows what's going to happen. Right on, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the stream with a little bit of a spice added with a few historic moments which I've described to you along with the predictions. Trippier doesn't start. He was not going to start. He was injured. We already knew that. He's not going to start. Right on, guys. So thank you so much for being on the stream for today, and thank you so much for joining the stream every time and and supporting the channel as well. I hope to see you for the next deadline stream, and I hope you have a great Game Week 31. And I will see you for the deadline stream of Game Week 32. Till then, take care. FPL Wizard signing out. May the arrows be green. Bye bye.